Congressman Khanna, the deputy whip of the Progressive Caucus. Congressman, thanks so much for joining us. What message do you hope this federal grand jury indictment sends to Bannon and others who have shown a willingness to totally disregard congressional subpoenas?
Wolf, it sends a message that no American is above the rule of law, that the same rules apply to everyone. And I don't know why Steve Bannon thinks that he shouldn't have to answer questions from the United States Congress or produce documents to the United States Congress when every other citizen would comply.
The top Republican on the House Judiciary Committee, we're talking about Jim Jordan, just weighed in, and he wrote this, and I'll read it to you. Joe Biden has eviscerated executive privilege. There are a lot of Republicans eager to hear testimony from Ron Klain and Jake Sullivan when we take back the House. Ron Klain, the White House Chief of Staff, Jake Sullivan, the National Security Advisor to the President. What's your response to that?
They probably don't understand executive privilege. First of all, Steve Bannon wasn't working in the White House or for the president at the time. Second, executive privilege applies to sensitive communication and advice to the president. This is not that situation. This has nothing to do with national security. So I hope that none of the Republicans abuse the executive privilege. This is about having a private citizen answer for their role on January 6th, something all other Americans would have to do.
So do you think Mark Meadows, the former White House Chief of Staff, has a stronger case? He was working directly at the White House at the time of the January 6th insurrection. He's seemingly going to be, he's defying this subpoena from the House Select Committee.
He should know of all people to comply. He was on the Oversight Committee. He has asked for subpoenas before. If there was sensitive information about national security that doesn't violate the rule of law, he can claim executive privilege for that. But there's no reason he should be claiming executive privilege to talk about the events of January 6th. There's nothing about national security there, and it certainly doesn't cover anything that could be illegal.
Let me move on to another sensitive issue that we're learning about. CNN, as you may know, has learned that you and other progressive Democrats are working to try to de-escalate tension within your own party. How important is that if you're going to have success with the much broader spending bill that's still out there on the table?
Wolf, it's very important. We have to come together as a party to deliver for the American people. You know, the Republicans talk about family values. The Democrats actually value families. We're going to have universal preschool that values families. We're going to have child care. And to do that, we have to be a united Democratic Party.
What's your message, Congressman, to fellow progressives who are still very vocal about their opposition to Democratic Senator Manchin of West Virginia? He's critical in all of this. As you know, there are 50 Democrats, 50 Republicans in the Senate. If the Democrats are going to pass what you guys pass in the House, they need all 50.
I would say keep it about the ideas. Engage him in a debate. Make your case. Make your case why the budget shouldn't be cut. But let's not have ad hominem attacks. Let's understand that he represents a constituency. We all represent different constituencies. And ultimately, if we tear each other down, we're tearing the president down, and we're not delivering for the American people. Let's put the people first and the party first.
You think President Biden, can eventually get Manchin on board so that this legislation, I assume it's going to pass the House, will eventually, in one form or another, pass the Senate?
I do. I'm very confident of that. In my conversations with Senator Manchin, one thing is clear. He wants this president to succeed, and he understands we have to pass something. So I am confident that we will get there, and that he understands also that this actually will ease inflation by helping supply chains, by increasing the productive capacity. I'm confident he'll get to a yes.
All right. We shall see. Congressman Khanna, as usual, thank you very much for joining us.
Appreciate it, Wolf.
Just ahead, fears of another winter surge as new COVID cases are actually ticking up here in the United States after weeks of decline. Stay with us. You're in the Situation Room.